How's it digging, my shovels? This is Spade here, and today I have a standard OU match against someone by the name of H81ABZ. That's an interesting name. But anyways, I got this new OU team that I've been using a while back. It still is part of the Genesect metagame, so don't be surprised by that. In fact, me and my opponent both here are using Genesect, but that was all legal back a while back when Genesect was still available. But this is definitely one of my favorite teams over the past couple of months that I've been using. I've had so much fun with this team, and here you can see the teams that we got going on, and I'm gonna go, since this is the first battle with this team, I'm gonna kind of explain it, because I've actually put some thought into it. It actually turned out a lot better than I thought, because I kind of first made it as a joke, but it has really good synergy. Other than the couple obvious weaknesses that it has, first off, this version of the team is really weak to fire. I have no fire resistances, and a couple of times I've faced the Sun team, I've been in really big trouble. And then another big problem is that my team is kind of slow. I don't have a Scarfer. My Genesect is banned simply because I wanted to try it out, and by the time I actually cared about changing it, Genesect got banned, so I never got around to change that. Although I did make a new version of the team, obviously without Genesect now. But this team is basically based around a shell-smashing Cloyster. It's the main sweeper and the main star of the team. And then I decided to try out Wifi because I have never tried it out before. And I thought it would be nice support for Cloyster, you know, being able to trap anything at once and then encoring them into wrong moves, and then, you know, Cloyster free shell smash, go from there. And then I got Whimsicott kind of as a backup encore guy, and you know, it has the Prankster, which is nice. And also I got the lead seed, so whenever I get something seeded, you know, then go into Cloyster, and then they'll be kind of just definitely forced to switch out, and while Cloyster will be just recovering health, which is nice. And that's, you know, priority encore is just so nice against setup sweepers, with especially with Dragon Dance. And then I got Fortress, which is my Stealth Rocker and a Rabbit Spinner. And then Genesect, Choice Bandit, like I mentioned, but I just wanted to try it out, and man, that thing just hits so hard. Actually, a good thing that Genesect is now gone. It was just so over-centralizing. But we have talked enough about that. But Genesect just goes well on every single team. So that's why I used it. And then I got Chansey. Basically, it's there to counter Genesect, if you know what I mean. And then it also brings nice wish support for the whole team, because nothing on my team has a reliable recovery. So there you go, I got the wish support going on. But for this match, I decided to lead with my Chansey, because I was kind of expecting my opponent to lead with the Genesect, and then I could, you know, counter it directly. But he actually leads with the Jirachi, so what I'm going to do is switch straight into my Whimsicott, because I know he's going to go for the Stealth Rocks on the first turn. What else would he do? And then I'm just gonna scout what is he going to do, and I just go for the substitute. You know, there's also a chance that you know, he might just want to go for the T-Babe or the Body Slam, and then I would have a free sub. But he actually switches out into his Politoad, which does work out perfectly. I can just go freely for the lead seat. I'm safely behind the sub, nothing he can do about that. But he actually goes into his Tornadus, and I was like, crap, he's just gonna U-turn out, and it's like he never took any damage. So what I decided to do, at least to get some momentum going on, I do actually pack U-turn on this Whimsicott. I've used the same Whimsicott in RU, and I decided to try it out in OU as well. I'd probably be better off with something like Stun Sport, but this one actually has U-turn, and it's the nice momentum that I got with Whimsicott, Fortress, and the Genesect. They all got the wall turning combination going on. So I U-turn out, and I don't see Life Orb recoil, and he goes straight for the Hurricane, so I'm thinking he's actually Choice Specs, which is kind of uncommon, but still it hits like a truck. It hits, you know, obviously harder than Life Orb. So but since I know that he's most likely Specs, I'm just gonna go straight into my Wobbuffet and just counter this thing, or Mirror Coat in this case, and just take him straight out. And that big threat, Tornadus, is now gone, and I don't need to worry about it. Really nice this early in the match, but yeah, just gonna Mirror Coat it. He was able to do a lot of damage because he was, you know, Choice Specs and all. But now in comes the Thunderous, and if he wants to attack me, I'm like, fine. But what I was fearing was him setting up Nasty Plot, so I wasn't really sure if I should go straight into my Chansey. So what I decided to do is go for the Encore in case he does feel like setting up, and that is indeed what he does as he goes for the agility, so that's nice. I can now go into my Whimsy card, and it doesn't matter how much speed he does generate, I'm always going to outspeed him with the Prankster, and now again I am free to go for the lead seed, as he's going to switch out into his Jirachi. And basically I just sit here all day long and just stall him out, but and I think I went for the sub first, but then I came up with an evil plan. But I'm just kind of getting ahead of myself. But yeah, go for the sub, just scout what is he going to do. Does he have T-Wave or Body Slam or what? And it does turn out he does have the Body Slam, but since I'm running max HP, max defense on this Whimsy card, I can actually take that hit. But here I came up with the idea, and I thought, if he's gonna, either keep on Body Slamming or then just Iron hitting, what I could do is just U-turn out and go into my Wobbuffet, trap him, and while he is being lead seated, he's not going to be able to do that much, even though Stab Iron Head is going to hurt because, it's a Wobbuffet, it doesn't have like much defenses, although it does have a lot of HP, and while this Iron Head right here, it does do quite a chunk to my Wobbuffet after my leftovers, and the lead seed, it does like, a bit over 20 HP, I'm not sure, I didn't do the exact calcs, but that's what it does kind of look like. So, what I can do here is try to Encore him while he's lead seated, and I actually kind of get lucky here. I get the Encore off on the first try, but I still had like, at least like 3 more tries, because judging by how much the Iron Heads did after the lead seed, I should have had a few more tries, but I do get lucky on the first try, and I can Encore him into that Iron Head, and now that he's locked into that Iron Head, I can safely go into my Cloyster, because Cloyster has like, 200 base defense, so that Iron Head did like absolutely diddly. And even after -1, when I'm going to set up my Shell Smash, obviously, I don't need to worry about him taking me out, especially after the lead seed. So that is what I'm going to proceed to do, is just go for the Shell Smash as he switches out into his Genesect, which is most likely Choice Scarfed. But Cloyster outspeeds, I think, 109 Scarfers, and also Latios with HP Fire, which has, 110. Well, but with HP Fire, it has to drop the speed IV by 1. So it can outspeed, all those things I just mentioned, and obviously I can outspeed Genesect, and since he brought the Rain with the Politoed, I can actually one-shot him with the Rain-boosted Razor Shell, and now this is the funny part of the match. I cannot one-shot a Politoed because he's a defensive variant. So I go for the Rock Blast, but guess what happens? I get the flinch, because Clownster here, he is holding the King's Rock, and that is why I call him the Clownster. He's a jester of the King, holding the King's Rock. He got the King's Rock from the King, and now he's pulling off his shenanigans, and he flinches the Politoads. And now in comes the Raji, and I can easily take him out with the Rain-boosted Razor Shell from this range. And now Cloyster is looking like it's just going to pull off a sweep here. He's going to go in his Thunders. I can obviously outspeed him, and 2 hits is just going to take him out. And then his last Pokemon, I do believe, is Terrakion, and even if that thing would happen to be Scarf, I'm not really sure which one is Scarf, Genesect or the Terrakion. I'm still kind of thinking that the Genesect is, because he kind of brought it early, hoping to outspeed me, but that was not the case. So, but it doesn't matter, I outspeed everything after 1 Shell Smash, and just gonna go for the Ice Skull Spears, 5 hits, take out the Terrakion, and that will be the game! And, basically, my original idea was, back when I made this team, because I think it was, like, Nobs had a battle with Rick, and Rick was trolling him with, not Whimsicott, freaking Chinchino. I don't know how I mix up those two, but, they're both really cute, I guess. But, anyways, he had a Chinchino, or Minchino. I think the second evolution is the Chinchino, but it was an NU match or something, and, Rick had a, King's Rock, freaking Chinchino, and he was trolling Nobs with that, and then I was thinking, like, what else could actually abuse King's Rock, especially in the higher tiers, Whimsicott, freaking Whimsicott, the, Chinchino is NU, so that's really the best Pokemon in the higher tiers, so what could I use it with? And I was like, hey, Cloyster actually has, pretty nice move pool to go with King's Rock, so I thought, hey, let's use Cloyster with King's Rock and hopefully do a bit of trolling. To be honest, even in this case, if I had because King's Rock is kind of a situational item, but it's really interesting because it has a 10% chance, and obviously when you get 5 hits per 1 turn, the chances of flinching actually get up to like 50%, and I guess counting the Rock Blast chance to miss, I think Smogon had some calcs, and it's like 41%, but still a pretty good chance of flinching, and it's still kind of for trolling purposes, but it's still kind of fun. And even like I was about to say, even in this battle, as I was facing the Politoed, if I had the White Herb, then I would have been guaranteed to live the Scald from him, because now it was kind of iffy if I could have lived the Scald from the defensive Politoed. Depending on min-max, I could have, and also there was a chance to burn. But if I had the White Herb, I would have been guaranteed to live the Scald. And then, if I had Life Orb, then I would have been able to just straight take him out. He was most likely a specially defensive Politoed, by the way. But King's Rock, kind of a situational item, but it is just... I just like the concept of possibly trolling something and taking something out that you otherwise couldn't. Because I've had matches against Ferrothorns. Actually, every time I've faced a Ferrothorn and I've tried to take it out early with the Icicle Spears, so far I haven't been able to pull that off. But a few times I've gotten some game-changing flinches with this Cloyster, which has been oh so fun because I'm a troll. But anyways, that's the team. Hope you guys enjoyed. I got a bunch of matches still backed up with this team and the new version of the team. And so you are probably going to be seeing Genesect a lot in the future too, because like I said, bunch of matches with this team backed up. But I'm gonna be posting them every now and then so that it doesn't get boring to you guys and for me to narrate them, because obviously posting like 10 matches back to back with the same team would get really boring really fast. But yeah, I'm just gonna balance them out and post them randomly when I feel like it. That's what I usually do. But anyways, now I'm just kind of rambling. And on other news, YouTube again has a new layout. Isn't that amazing? Like, it was just a couple of months ago when they changed the layout, and now they did it again, and now the front page is kind of annoying, because I especially would like to see the just the videos from the people that I'm subscribed to, but now instead it shows every random channel activity thingy and recommended videos on the front page. But I guess I'll just have to get used to it, and I guess by the time over the time I will, but still at the moment, like pretty much always, it just feels really stupid. Like, they could change the layout, but why do they change the basic concept of it? Because people have gotten used to having the people they want to watch on the front page, and now they don't. Now you have to go to like my subscription, and then there's like uploads only. And when you are forced to click twice instead of not clicking, I mean, if you are forced to click thrice or 3 times instead of just clicking once going to the front page, that is a huge change. And we don't want to click extra times, do we? Because this is the internet and people are super lazy. So when they make a huge change like this, it is big and people are going to be bitching. So there's that. And, I don't want to be clicking extra times because it's going to take extra time, obviously. But anyways, now I'm just kind of trolling and talking out of my R's like I tend to do. And I ramble a lot, so I should probably stop. But thank you for watching this match, and hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a thumbs up if you did, and I will check you guys next time, which will be sometime next week with more battles. So I will see you guys then, and other stuff will be coming also. I got a new LP starting next week on Wednesday, so there is that. Stay tuned for that. And and I'm rambling again, and I just can't stop. So I'm going to now. So thank you for watching once again. Until next time, this is TheFlamingSpade signing out. Peace.